Please subscribe to Infos and Education. Thank you.
Cells form the basic units of life. We know this. And by now, we even know how the discovery of cells, as seen in the tree cork, was a breakthrough in biological studies. Now it's time to have a look at how the cells actually look under a microscope. For this, we select onion peel as our specimen. But before we begin with the procedure, let's first collect the necessary requirements. We will need a microscope, a slide, a cover slip, iodine solution, water, and forceps. Anything else we're left with? Well, the most important of all is the specimen, that is an onion peel. Now that we're all set with the equipments needed, let's begin with the amazing experiment of observing the onion cells under the microscope. Firstly, we take the onion peel and with the help of the forceps, pull away the thin lining from the inner surface. Before placing this on the slide, we first add a drop of water on, then place the onion peel on it. We are not supposed to touch the peel and even the slide with our fingers. Next, we add 2 drops of dilute iodine solution. Hold on, do you know why is iodine solution added to this specimen? We do this so that we can clearly see all the parts of the cell. Else it's difficult to study them as they are transparent. It would even be difficult to differentiate between the various parts. Now we place a cover slip in this manner and make sure that no air bubbles are formed on the slide. With this, our slide is ready. This entire process of setting up the microscope along with the slide is termed mounting. It's also important to see that there is enough light falling on the mirror of the microscope. Shall we observe it now? Here we go. Wow, doesn't it look amazing? Now before studying these, tell me one thing. Do plants and animal cells look the same? Do they have the same organelles? Or are the 2 types different in some ways? Well, plant and animal cells are slightly different. When cells from a human cheek are scraped with a sterile cotton bud and mounted, similar but not exactly same cells are seen under the microscope. Roughly, we have these thick, distinct borders that differentiate each cell from the other one. Then we have these thin, tiny dark spots scattered all over. Also, we can spot this prominent circular structure here, which is very darkly stained. Any ideas what these things are? Well, these are the cell constituents. We mounted plant cells and animal cells on slides to observe them under the microscope. Let's study them in general in this video. For our convenience, let's select just one. Say the onion peel cells to understand the structure and the contents of the cell. Roughly, we've seen these thick, distinct borders that differentiate each cell from the other one. Then we have these tiny dark spots scattered all over. Also, we can spot this prominent circular structure here, which is very darkly stained. Any idea what these things are? Well, these are the cell constituents. Let's get introduced to each. This outer margin seen here is called the cell wall. If we zoom in a bit, we notice that there is another layer in the inner side of this cell wall. This is called the cell membrane. Yes, the outer wall is the cell wall and the inner layer is called the cell membrane. The cell membrane is also referred to as the plasma membrane. It is porous in nature. So what does porous mean? It simply means that any material can move in and out of the plasma membrane. But isn't that dangerous? Of course it is. But the simple solution lies in the nature of the plasma membrane. That is because it is selectively permeable. So what does selectively permeable mean here? Just like a guard standing at the office door who allows only members with the identity cards to enter and exit, the plasma membrane also allows only specific materials to move across. We will look at this in details in our upcoming videos. This was just to understand how the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Now let's move ahead to know about the cell wall. Do you think all cells have cell walls? Well, the answer is a no. That's because animal cells do not have cell walls. An animal cell only has the plasma membrane and not the cell wall. The cell walls act as protectors for plant cells. It's composed of a non-living rigid structure that is cellulose. It not only acts as a protector, but also gives a proper shape to the plant cells. It also helps in cell-to-cell interactions and provides a barrier to undesirable macromolecules. It protects, it gives shape to the cells, and it helps in cell-to-cell interactions. Clearly, the cell wall is a very important part of the plant cell structure. Now let's get into this lighter region here. This lighter region is the cytoplasm. It's a jelly-like substance filling up the cell space. And these tiny parts in the cytoplasm are the organelles. And what exactly are they? Just like the human body has different organs, the cell has various organelles. And just like the organs, each organelle performs a different function.
Please subscribe to Info Education.